Hey, how's it going, cracks? Thanks for being here. This is Mundo Maldini, your channel. Real Madrid won on March 2nd in Bergamo against Atalanta, a team that was on a spectacular run of results. In fact, they hadn't lost since September. One loss, I remember, against them in Madrid, as the European champion that they are. They managed to pull off a match that was very tough, and that has been very difficult. In the end, they ended up holding on to Real Madrid's result. There have been good stretches, especially in the first part of the first half, and stretches that were not good at all. Atalanta, and you'll see this later, had a lot of shots, but Madrid held on to the result. I want to analyze a lot of things. The first minutes of Kylian Mbappe, which for me have been the best minutes of Mbappe since he put on the Real Madrid jersey. It's a shame about the injury, we'll see. The time he's out of play, let's hope it's not too long, because obviously having these players on the field always enhances the spectacle. Even though Mbappe hasn't been at his best, not by a long shot, I think these players elevate the competitions. So let's hope Kylian Mbappe can make his comeback as soon as possible. But the truth is that, for me, he played the best minutes since he's been at Real Madrid. In fact, the match was really intense. Kylian Mbappe scored a great goal, but then that injury took him out. Rodrigo has been pretty bad when he came on. I'm going to mention that too. But if Real Madrid ended up winning this match, friends of Mundo Maldini, it was mainly because of this man. Once again, Jude Bellingham has carried the team on his back, while Madrid defended, in my opinion, a bit too deep. They managed to hold on to the result. And thanks to having Jude Bellingham, who once again put on a spectacular physical display, scored a great goal, and is currently an unstoppable player. Unstoppable not just for the goals he scores, which he's back on a scoring streak, but for what he generates, the sacrifices he makes, and what he brings to the team. And by far, tomorrow you should know the ratings from the match. He has been the best player for Real Madrid in this very important victory, March 2nd in Bergamo against Atalanta. Let's analyze all of that. Let's look at the 11 players. Let's talk about Vinicius, and of course, let's talk about Atalanta as well, what it could be like from now on in these matches without this man, without Kylian Mbappe, all of that and much more. All right, let's go. Well, this is something Jude Bellingham always does, friends of Mundo Maldini. And here we have him very close. He looks up calmly, and right here behind is the camera that's going to focus on Gnabry. Joshua Kimmich, one of my favorite players. I have no hesitation in admitting it. Joshua Kimmich, this player who's coming out here to check things on the field. Let's see if he greets anyone from the bar. Let's see if there's something interesting. Pablo Torre is around, too, and more will come later. And here are the players inspecting. One of the classics, the champions, is that many times we have to be careful because we don't get caught off guard. All right, here we go. This is the goal from Killer Mbappe. A real stunner because the cut he makes as the ball comes to him is fantastic, leaving the center back behind, and then the shot is unstoppable. Mbappe, who was really switched on, super motivated. Mbappe came out really fired up for the match, and so did all of Real Madrid, because I have to say that the first 10 minutes of December from Real Madrid were honestly very good. Then the team ended up sitting back in a way that I would almost say is incomprehensible. Atalanta is a really good team. I'm not saying they're not. Madrid sat back, managed to pull the game through, but they definitely give away too much. For me, Real Madrid has given away too much. 2001, and I'm sure that's on his mind, and Ancelotti is telling the players that Carnesecchi in goal for Atalanta, a three-man defense with Comgin City, Guillet and Nicolasinac, Ruggeri and Bellanova as the wing-backs, along with Ederson and Martin Deron. Very good match from Ederson. Deron hasn't been at the level he was playing in the league. Pasalic up to Lushman, who had an amazing game. Really, he scored a great goal, and Lucas Vazquez hasn't had much help. Lucas Vazquez isn't a great defender. He needs a bit more help with a player like Luchman. And then Teller scored from a penalty, and he definitely didn't have his best day. Not by a long shot. Then, by the way, Samardzic came in and changed the game. He changed the team. What a sensational performance from Samardzic. We saw a lot of him at Udinese, and the level Courtois is at in goal for Real Madrid. Good match from Courtois. Lucas Vazquez had a weak game for me, and I also want to talk about Tchouameni, Rudiger, and Fran Garcia Valverde. Ceballos, double pivot. He's surprised with Ceballos, although I would go with Luka Modric. Luka Modric's last match in Girona was really good, but Luka Modric can't play every match. He can't play every single match, not at all. I understand Ancelotti not putting Luka Modric in. Brahim on the right, who has been good. Bellingham by far, the best player on the pitch, moving all over the attack, helping out, working hard, and scoring a sensational goal. Mbappe, who was having a really good game until the injury, a really good game. And Vinicius, he scored a good goal. Vinicius has had some good moments, but of course he just came back. He's back. This match is still nowhere near the level Vinicius that we know. That's obvious. It's also clear that Madrid won a match they really needed to win, and they won it for many reasons. Let's tackle the topic of Tchouameni first. Here we have him with Lukman. Well, I don't think Tchouameni had a bad game. I also expected Asensio to play. But, well, Ancelotti preferred Tchouameni, saying it's because he defends much better in the air. That's true. The penalty, well, for me, it's a penalty, by the way, because it's true that later, even though the Atalanta player trips, he trips precisely because there's contact from Tchouameni. For me, Tchouameni's penalty is a penalty. It's true that he goes out to correct it. He doesn't correct it well, and then he loses his position and commits that penalty that was the equalizer. But I don't think he had a bad game, honestly. Tchouameni gives Caesar what belongs to Caesar. He gets criticized a lot. I do it quite a bit. But I don't think Tchouameni had a bad game by any means. Let's tackle the topic of Kylian Mbappe. I was really liking Kylian Mbappe a lot. Madrid scored their goal early. For me, Madrid has dropped back too much, too far. They have given away a lot to Atalanta. They've defended too close to Courtois. But that could also benefit Kylian Mbappe with the space. He had a play where he took a shot. Maybe he rushed a bit on the shot he had. But I was seeing him really plugged in. He was showing that burst of speed he has. And he was causing a lot of trouble, creating fear in the Atalanta defense. The best minutes of Mbappe at Real Madrid. And in these minutes, we really saw a bit of the Mbappe that he can be. Mbappe didn't forget how to play football. Don't have any doubt that he didn't forget how to play football. Last season, he was worse at PSG. But in this match, it's true that he got injured and the injury holds him back. We'll see when 2009 makes his comeback, but it's clear that it's good news. At least for the minutes Kylian Mbappe has been on the field. I really like Kylian Mbappe, I insist on that. But of course, it seems to me that Madrid can't concede that much. They can't concede that much. They won the match. They ended up winning a game. They needed to win against a good team like Atalanta, who had a good Lukman. But it seemed less so. The wing-backs did pretty well. Kolasinac was good. Ruggeri on the left was good. Bellanova seemed a bit less. But I think Atalanta has really sunk. Madrid has sunk too much, honestly. They've sunk too much, and that almost cost them dearly. This is the penalty that De Ketelaere scores. I insist that for me, it was a penalty. I want you to see a piece of information. In the end, the result is what matters. I know that the result is what matters, but I have the feeling that against a team with more talent up front, defending so deep is very dangerous. And I think that's something Madrid can't do. Madrid has shown and proven to itself that when they press high, when they win the ball back through high pressing, at that moment, they are the team that finishes plays the best. That is demonstrated by the ability they have to create danger when they recover the ball near the area. There's no team in La Liga that generates more danger when recovering the ball near the area than Real Madrid. Another thing is whether he can actually do it. Before we dive into the topic of Vinicius Jr., his goal, his involvement, his starting position, today I want us to look at the stats from the match because I've told you and said, well, what are you counting? Let's take a look at the stats from the match. 20 shots on goal, 20 shots from Atalanta, not on target, obviously, but 20 shots from Atalanta. That's a lot. Madrid can't play so close to Courtois' area. I think that Madrid's retreat at the end against really good teams, and Atalanta is one of them, can cost you dearly. 20 shots. When you get shot at 20 times and none of them hit the target, honestly. For Madrid to win the match, they've really clung to the result, but that's not normal. With the players Madrid has, with Vinicius, with Bellingham, in the end they have more chances, but that's not the norm. 6 shots on target for Real Madrid compared to 9 for Atalanta. I'm getting to this. In the first half, here you have it. 8 shots from Atalanta compared to 6 from Real Madrid. And in the second half, 12 shots from Atalanta, not all on target, obviously, compared to 4 from Real Madrid. In other words, Madrid has defended too deep. For me, too deep for Jude Bellingham. Let's take a look at Jude Bellingham's goal play. A long ball, Jude Bellingham waits, cuts inside the box, and unleashes a powerful shot with his left foot. Bellingham's goal was sensational, but not just because of the goal itself, which I think is a work of art, but also for everything it generates, for how he moved, for everything he contributed to Real Madrid's attack, for everything he created. I thought he did really well. Brahim has contributed quite a bit too, but certainly not at the level of Jude Bellingham, not by a long shot. I liked Lukman. I insist, Lucas Vazquez needs help. He's not a good defender. He needs support, and he didn't get it from Lukman, who was a nightmare, and it was really a miracle that Lukman didn't do more than he did, which was score a goal and create quite a bit of danger without any help. Today, Lucas Vazquez really suffered, and it's not just his fault. And we're going to finish by talking about Vinicius while we look at this image that will surely go viral after he scores his goal. It's a good shot, A poor clearance from Atalanta. Good shot from Vinicius. He's been involved quite a bit, but I haven't seen him very sharp with the ball. I haven't seen Vinicius very sharp with the ball, but in the end, he scored that important goal. He has participated in the attack in several plays, and I think that Vinicius cannot be said to have had a bad score. Far from it in the match, although he will improve. Obviously, he will improve, Vinicius Jr. In short, Real Madrid won on March stone. Real Madrid cannot play so far back. Real Madrid cannot concede so much, but in the end, they have ended up winning the match. Let's see, by the way. Here we have Vinicius with our friends from Minix. Here he is. Look, we've seen the photo, and here we have Vinicius, whose return is really important, especially considering that Mbappé is going to miss more than one match from now on. Anyway, Real Madrid's victory, a key win, a very important win. Madrid wasn't in great shape. There was concern about Kylian Mbappé. But with this win, I think there won't be any problem for them to make it into the playoff for the round of 32, let's call it that. However, being among the top 8 will be tough, even if they win both matches. Still, it's an important victory. Although Madrid has left some worrying things and also some pretty good things, especially Jude Bellingham's performance, which was magnificent. A hug, bye.